Well, this is exciting news. Only 6 more days until Thanksgiving break. 5.3, adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials. Horizontal adding and subtracting. So this is what you're used to. We're just going to add polynomials. This happens to be a binomial of degree 1 and a binomial of degree 1. And we're just going to add them. It's like distributing a 1 outside. So really what we have is 14 minus 16x plus 10x minus 5. Combine like terms. Negative 16 plus 10 is negative 6x. 14 minus 5 is plus 9. Over here, the one trick you have to remember is this is a negative. Okay, let's just review some terms. This is a trinomial, degree 2. This is a trinomial, degree 2, which means they're both quadratics. I'm distributing a negative 1 here, so this remains 2x squared plus 11x plus 2, but the negative distributes to every term inside here, so I'm subtracting x plus 2x, whoops, that's a squared, sorry, and then subtract 7. I'm now going to combine like terms, and so I combine the 2x squared and the minus x squared. I combine the 11x and the 2x. And I combine the, let me just fix that x. And then I combine the 2 and the negative 7. Okay, fancy trick if you wanted to try it, if you put your original problem into y1 in your calculator and your answer into y2 in your calculator and check the table. The y1 and y2 column should match. Okay. Vertical adding, subtracting. A lot of people like vertical multiplication, so let's just look and see what it looks like with adding and subtracting. All I'm going to do is I'm going to line up these terms with their proper signs underneath the corresponding term in the first. So this first one is 4 terms, so it is a degree 3 cubic. So I'm going to line up the negative 17x cubed here and the plus 56x here. Line up the like terms and now just add vertically. So I have a 1 here. I have, I'm subtracting, so I have a negative 14x there. I have a negative 5x squared there, and 12 minus 17 is minus 5x cubed there. Okay, over here I'm going to do the same thing, but again, be careful, I'm subtracting. So I don't have a fourth. I'm going to put a negative 8x to the fourth out front. Then the negative 3x cubed underneath the 5x cubed. And I don't have a squared term. And I don't have an x term in the first cubic. So I'm actually going to rewrite this so that I can line them up better. So I'm going to have, I'm going to do the to the fourth first. So I have a negative 8x to the fourth plus 3x cubed. I don't have an x squared, so I'm just going to leave a space, minus the 2x minus the 5. And now I'm going to adjust my sign, so that would be a negative. This would be a negative. 0x squared, this is going to be a positive, and this is going to be a positive. And now I'm going to line up my first polynomial. So the plus 5x cubed goes here, minus 2x squared goes here, and plus 3 goes here. I just add vertically. Negative x to the fourth, that would be plus 2x cubed, minus 2x squared, plus 2x, plus 8. Again, y1, y2, check your tables. So now let's multiply polynomials. We're going to distribute, and since we've already done exponents, you know that that would be 12x cubed, and that would be, what, 96 X squared. Okay, this is two binomials multiplied together. You guys have referred to it as FOIL. I would prefer to refer to it as distribute because FOIL only works with two binomials. So I'm going to distribute the 2x to the first term and the 2x to the second term. I'm going to distribute the 3 to the first term and the 3 to the second term. I'm going to now combine like terms. Okay, remember when I'm adding and subtracting, my exponents don't change. I'm just combining like terms. Okay, again, here FOIL would not work, so I'm going to distribute the x to all terms. Minus 2x squared, x times, oh, we're going to give that a sign. Let's just make that a negative. Whoops. All right, let's see if I can get that in there. So that would be negative 4x. Okay, now when I distribute the second term, I'm actually going to line it up. That would be negative 9x squared, so I'm going to line it up under here. This would be plus 6x. And this would be minus 7. This is just much easier to follow when you're then combining like terms. So combining like terms, I'm going to get 3x squared minus cubed minus 11x squared plus 2x minus 7. Now we're just going to look at one vertical multiplication. To me, it doesn't really save any time. It might help you line up your variables a little bit, so I'm going to set them up vertically underneath each other. This works just like multiplication when you were younger. So we're going to start with this 9, and we're going to multiply 9 times 4. We're going to move backwards and multiply 9 times negative 6x. And we're going to move backwards again, and we're going to multiply 9 times x squared. Okay? Then we're going to kind of, remember when you go to the second, you kind of leave a 0, which is what we're going to do. Notice these are in descending or decreasing exponent from higher to lower. So now I'm going to multiply the x times the 4x, and it will line here. The x times the negative 6x, and we'll have this, and then the x times the x squared, and we'll have x cubed. Now they're all nicely lined up, so I end up with x cubed plus 3x squared. This is a positive 4x, so minus 50x plus 36. And again, y1, y2. Doesn't matter which one's in which, just then tick your table. Okay, so here I'm just going to continue to distribute. That's going to be 3x to the 4th minus 6x squared plus 3x. Another thing I like to do is then distribute underneath so that all my little rainbows don't get mixed together, because then there's a really high possibility of missing terms. Now notice in this particular trinomial I don't have an x squared term, so let me just check. Yeah, so I'm going to 2 times x cubed is a 2x cubed, so I'm going to change these guys and move them over 1. Sorry guys. That's going to be minus 6x squared plus 3x. Okay, now underneath I'm going to have a 2x cubed, so I'm going to line it up here in this empty spot, and minus 4x, so I've got to line that under the x, and then plus 2 at the end. Now when I add them together, I just add the columns to combine like terms. So I have 3x to the 4th plus 2x cubed minus 6x squared minus x plus 2. This hole right here that I'm leaving, is really kind of important when we go to synthetic division and, as you saw, with synthetic substitution. So get in the habit of leaving that whole. Okay, when I'm multiplying a trinomial, don't forget that's not x cubed minus 27. It's going to be x minus 3 times x minus 3 times x minus 3. Okay, we're going to multiply the first two binomials together and you'll get x squared minus 6x plus 9. Then I'm going to multiply x minus 3. Okay, and then I'm going to distribute that out also. And there's the answer that you should get for that one. I want to real quick review the sum and difference of cubes. So if I have a cubed plus b cubed, that's going to equal a plus b times a squared plus ab, not plus, a squared, I know you caught that, minus ab plus b squared. And if I have a cubed minus b cubed, that's a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So, for example, if I had x cubed minus 8 and I wanted to factor that out, the biggest problem everyone's having, I think, is finding your a and b. A would be what makes your first term. What times what times what gives me my first term? That would be x. What times what gives me my second term? That would be 2. 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. So now I put it in the formula. A is x. X minus b times a squared plus a times b plus b squared. So try this one, 27x cubed plus 81. Go ahead and pause, find your a and b, and then unpause. So your a is going to be 3x. 3x times 3x times 3x gives me 27x cubed. Your b is going to be, we're going to change that b to 64. So let's see if I can get rid of that real quick. Change this to 64. So your b is going to be 4 times 4 times 4. So your a is 3x and your b is 4. So we're going to do a plus b, and we're going to do a squared minus a times b plus b squared. Now, some of you are thinking this looks like a perfect squared trinomial, but remember what I have to do is I have to take the square root of that times the square root of that gives me 12, and then I have to double it, which would be 24. So this trinomial is not a perfect square trinomial. Therefore, my answer to factoring that cube is this. Okay, so I have about a minute left, so I'm just going to get this set up. Remember, the volume of a box is length times width times height. I'm going to plug that in, length times width times height, and you should get 2x cubed plus x squared minus 8x minus 4. Have a great day. Last thing, Hannah and I say, have a great week. I've never played with photo booth, so here's my first experience.